MetLife Stadium ahead of the Packers' Week 11 road game against the New York Giants. Green Bay looking to snap a two-game losing skid after losing back-to-back games at home. This game is probably I think we're kicking off here in about 30 minutes or so, but let's get right into it. We've got actives and inactives out for both teams. For the Packers, the big active for today is going to be wide receiver Matthew Golden. He missed Monday night's game against the Eagles. He injured his shoulder in the second half against the Carolina, or maybe not in the second half. He was out for the second half against the Carolina Panthers. So Matthew Golden back in the lineup today for the Packers, which is a huge boost for them considering the offense has really struggled during this two-game losing skid. I know the big thing, though, is people want to see Matthew Golden get those targets. He's the Packers' first-round draft pick. They want to see him get the ball. He hasn't had a touchdown. He hasn't had his first NFL touchdown yet, so I know fans want to see that happen. Maybe we see that happen today. I know it's been a little tough for Golden to get in the mix with Christian Watson getting back from the torn ACL he had last season. But yeah, I know a lot of people want to see Matthew Golden get some touches, so we'll see if that happens today. So Matthew Golden is active. A big inactive for the Packers today is starting kicker Brandon McManus. Now, this isn't too much of a surprise considering yesterday the Packers downgraded him to doubtful, moving his status to doubtful for today's game. So that kind of hinted towards Lucas Havrisik being the starting kicker today for Green Bay, and that is the case. Havrisik is going to be starting in his third game for the Packers this season. He played in their game against the Bengals and against the Cardinals, I believe, back-to-back weeks. And he was perfect in both those games. And that road trip to Arizona, he had a 61-yard field goal, which was a franchise record for the longest field goal. So he set that in Arizona and was just really impressive in the two games in which he played. So Brandon McManus out today as he deals with this lingering quad injury to his kicking leg, and Lucas Havrisik is in. And McManus, we've seen him kick, the last couple games since he returned from that two-game absence, and he's been just 4 of 8 on his field goal, so just 50% on his field goal attempts. So there's been some question there kind of regarding, was McManus 100% healthy? I guess clearly not, or he kind of re-aggravated perhaps even more that right quad injury. So he is out today, and Lucas Havrisik is going to be in. So we'll see kind of how much they rely on him today and his leg. But yeah, he's been fantastic since the Packers signed him. And it was interesting, too, because even when Brandon McManus returned to the lineup, the Packers still choosing to keep Lucas Havrisik on the team. So people were kind of wondering, if McManus isn't, 100% after he wasn't making some of those kicks, why are we not seeing Havrisik in the lineup? Well, we are today. So again, we'll see how much they lean on him today. Another big out, I guess, it was borderline if he would play today or not, but Lucas Van Ness, Packers defensive end, will not be returning to the lineup today. He is inactive. So this will be his 5th game that he misses, and it's not super surprising considering he just returned to practice this week and he was practicing in a limited capacity. He injured his foot in the game against the Bengals. Talked about that this week with us, said it happened on the sack of Joe Flacco. He said his foot just got caught and bent the wrong way. So he's been working his way back from that foot injury. And I know that Matt LaFleur, when he missed a couple of games, was asked, was putting Van Ness on IR, was that considered at all? And I believe his response was they didn't think this injury would take this long to heal, unfortunately. So now you're seeing Lucas Van Ness missing his 5th straight game. And so unfortunately for the Packers, he could have been put on IR, but he just hasn't. And so he's not going to be returning today. We'll see, though, if he does return next week. But so the Packers are going to be without Lucas Van Ness today as well. But look, the defense has been really hasn't missed a beat even in his absence. So we'll see if they can continue that strong performance today against the Giants team that is looking a little different when you look at their offense. Their starting quarterback today is Jameis Winston. That is not a surprise at all. Jackson Dart was officially ruled out as he remains in the concussion protocol. So Jameis Winston will be making his first start for the Giants today. He signed with them in the offseason. He's a veteran guy, though. This is the 4th team that he has played with throughout his career. And you never really know what you're going to get with him. And that's kind of what the Packers talked about this week is, look, he has that veteran experience. He can be a really good playmaker. He can throw the ball and make those necessary, just do the necessary throws and things like that to lead the team to success. He does throw a lot of interceptions. Last year when he played for the Browns, 13 passing touchdowns, 12 picks, so almost the same amount of touchdowns as he had interceptions. But again, the Packers just talking about this week how you can't focus on that too much because they know what he's capable of, and so they got to be on their A game, especially just maybe feeling some of that pressure, of course, of being on a 2-game losing skid and not wanting the train to fall completely off the tracks and lose 3 games in a row, especially when their next 3 games are all against division opponents. So that's kind of the big things for today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else important that we've missed for this matchup. But again, we'll see if the Packers are able to snap this 2-game losing streak here against the Giants at MetLife Stadium. Of course, we'll have all highlights, full breakdown later on Fox 11 News at 9 as well as 10. But thank you guys so much for tuning in.